Welcome back to another edition of All In Sports Talk. I'm your host, Mario. Let's get right into this weekend's action. First off, in European soccer, in England, some big games. Yesterday, Antonio Conte's Chelsea are no longer singing the blues anymore. They took out Everton 5-0. I did not see this coming. They have been playing great the last couple of weeks, but still, on paper it's a tough match, but they made them look like a second division team, man. Conte has brought over that style he had with Juventus and with Italy, and he's brought it into the English system, and so far it is working. I think this team could win the Premier League. Also, some other big names. Arsenal took on Tottenham, ending in a 1-1 contest, which is good for Chelsea. And other great news for Chelsea, Manchester City tied to Middlesbrough 1-1 after Man City was coming off a huge win against Barcelona in the Champions League earlier on in the week. In Spain, Real Madrid took on CD Leganes, beating them, shutting them out 3-0 with a brace by Gareth Bale. Not much of a surprise there. Upset here. Real Sociedad beat Atletico de Madrid 2-0 in that Spanish contest, which I thought Atletico was going to win easy. But I guess even in Spain sometimes there are upsets. In Germany, Bayern Munich took on Hoffenheim, ended in a 1-1 contest. Also, Borussia Dortmund lit it up against Hamburger, beating them 5-2 with 4 goals by Aubameyang. This kid's he's the king of Bundesliga, man. Every year he gets better and better. The price tag on this guy, if a team's going to want to buy him, is going to be very high. Also in Italy this weekend, Napoli took on Lazio in a 1-1 contest. First place Juventus beat Chievo 2-1 with a fantastic free kick by Pjanic. AC Milan took on Palermo, beating them 2-1. They have moved into second place for now until Roma plays on later on against Bologna. Some MMA. Last night was Fight Night, Mexico City. Let's start off with the third co-main event. Ricardo Lamas took on Charles Oliveira in the featherweight contest. Ricardo Lamas, he looked like he was going to get submitted in the first round, but persevered. Came second round, he submitted Charles Oliveira, picks up the win. Also, co-main event, veteran Diego Sanchez took on Polish superstar Held, beating him in a unanimous decision. There were times in that contest where Held looked like he was going to get a leg lock on Diego, but he just kept getting out, and had the mount on him, ground and pound. That's what comes with experience, and he picked up a great victory. And for the main event, former UFC lightweight champion took on Tony Ferguson, who's coming into this fight on a 10-fight winning streak. And Tony pretty much outclassed the former champion. If Ferguson doesn't fight the winner of Eddie Alvarez and Conor next week, I don't know what this guy's got to do to get a championship fight. He's on a 9-fight win streak. He's the only fighter in UFC history to have that long of a win streak and not get a title shot. This is a segment called Hot Topic, and today's Hot Topic, Gianfranco Zola, former Chelsea player, is linked to be the new manager of Inter Milan. I don't know if it's going to happen, but there are rumors he is in the front running. But there are also other rumors of former Lazio coach Piola. But on Sky Sports this week, earlier on this week, Zola has been linked to the Inter Milan job. It would be interesting to see him in Italy coaching, especially with a team who spent so much money this offseason and can't seem to put it together. Some big things to look forward to next week. There was no soccer next week, but there is World Cup qualifying and friendlies. World Cup qualifying. 2 games to look forward to, and it's in the South America qualifying. Brazil take on Argentina, which should be a great matchup. That's like the El Clasico for international soccer matches. Also, Colombia take on back-to-back Copa America champions Chile. Some friendlies to look forward to. Netherlands take on Belgium, which should be a great clash. England take on Spain. And Italy take on Germany in the rematch from the Euro 2016 quarterfinals. Excuse me. Also, in the NFL, some great matchups next week to look forward to. Cincinnati Bengals take on the New York Giants. It's a tough matchup to pick, if I had to choose. Obviously, I'm not a big Giants fan, but I'm not going to be biased here. But I think at home the Giants can get the job done. To me, it comes down to which Andy Dalton is going to show up. Atlanta take on the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a great clash. I picked the Falcons on that one. Dallas take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Heinz Field. I would pick Dallas, but they are missing two big secondaries, Barry Church and Morris Claiborne. Had a brain freeze there for a second. It's going to be tough, especially with that lethal offensive attack from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Big Ben will be ready for Dallas. It's going to be a toss-up. I don't know what to pick. It's more on Pittsburgh's side because, Dallas' defense with injuries. But it's a toss-up, man. To be honest, I don't know what to pick for that matchup. Also, next week is the first time ever UFC 205 is in the greatest arena in the world, Madison Square Garden. It is a jam-packed fight card from the prelims to the pay-per-view. I'll just talk about the pay-per-view card because or else it's too many fights. Chris Weidman takes on Yoel Romero in a middleweight contest. I think Yoel doesn't have the stamina or the cardio to go toe-to-toe with Weidman. I think Romero's going to have to try to end Weidman in the first round, and if he can't, I see him gassing out in the second. Raquel Pennington takes on former UFC bantamweight champion Miesha Tate. It's a great matchup. I take Tate on this matchup. She's a grinder. She doesn't give up. I take Tate by decision. Also, in the welterweight division, Kelvin Gastelum takes on Donald the Cowboy Cerrone. Cerrone looks good at 170, man. What can I say? This fight was originally supposed to be Robbie Lawler versus Cerrone, but we all know Lawler pulled out. I take Cerrone on this one, man. He's my guy. I love him. He's exciting. The guy fights every week almost. Also, now the title fights. In the women's strawweight division, it's the Battle of Poland. Karolina fights UFC strawweight champion Johanna. I take Johanna, man. Her stand-up game is just too good. She's too lead. She's got too many weapons. Her kicks, her punches. She's good at takedown defense. Her last match with Claudia, she's great on the ground. She held her off. A couple of rounds, and then boom, boom. That was. She hit her with some good shots, man, and that was it. I don't see this Karolina girl beating her. It'll be a tough matchup, but I still think Johanna walks out as champion. Co-main event in the welterweight division. This is a blockbuster fight. UFC champion Tyron Woodley takes on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's been cruising through the welterweight division. You got Woodley, who's great at wrestling, and Wonderboy, who's got this weird side stance, karate stance that nobody can figure out. To be honest, I don't know what to pick for this fight. If Woodley could take him to the ground, which is tough to take Wonderboy to the ground, I'd take Woodley. Woodley's got better power punching, but Thompson, I don't know, man. He's just so calculating with his striking. And of course, for the main event is the UFC lightweight championship on the line. UFC lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez defends his title against the UFC featherweight champion, the notorious Conor McGregor. I don't think Conor's got the stamina to last with Eddie. Eddie's been in wars, man, and he's fought real competitors. Conor, he's had great stylistic matches to get him to the top. He hasn't really fought anybody of this caliber. I think Eddie finished. I don't even think this goes to the distance. I got Eddie in the third round, knocking him out. Especially if this fight goes to the ground. Conor, we all know on the ground he's not very good, and Eddie's known for his wrestling as well. Eddie Alvarez got a chin. Conor's just got that left hook. He's not a threat on the ground. Standing up, he's good standing up, but he hasn't, like I said before, he hasn't fought a guy of this caliber. So it should be an interesting matchup. This has been another edition of All In Sports Talk. See you next week.